Welcome to Africa Express. Today we are going to Ethiopia, to a particular city in Ethiopia called Ogaden. My guest today is a very talented man. He is a human rights activist. He's also a professional track runner. He is here with me today to discuss the events that are taking place, that have been taking place in Ogaden for the last, say, the last 10 years. His name is Mr. Saeed Ahmad. You are welcome to Africa Express.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. Well, my name is Saeed Ahmed, like you said, and I am actually here to talk about, you're right, the region in Ethiopia, which is called Ogaden. And I'm so glad to be here tonight with you.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show. You are also the founder of a group known as Save Ogaden.
Right.
Correct.
That's right.
And you are also a professional athlete.
Right.
Who, for how long have you been running?
Well, I moved to here in the United States in 1995 when I was 11 years old, and since then I started running track and field. But you know, last 10 years I have been doing track and field as a professional. You know, went to college. Actually, I grew up here in Boston, Massachusetts. Went to high school, and then I went to University of Arkansas, and then that's where I became a professional athlete. You know, and I've been running for a team of the United States. I ran Olympics, World Championships, and all that stuff. And actually, at the moment, I am a high school counselor, and doing my part-time, I'm doing Save Ogaden organization, because this is what I really want to do. I want to save a lot of Ogaden people who are getting tortured, who are experiencing a lot of abuse in Ogaden. And this is a region where the world ignored. And the world does not know much about this region because no media access.
So Save Ogaden organization.
Right.
You are the founder.
Yes, ma'am. I'm the founder.
And the purpose of it is?
The purpose of it is it spread awareness to the world to show what is going on in Ogaden.
What is going on in Ogaden?
Well, what's going on in Ogaden is something that basically has not covered yet outside the world. Because the reason is why in Ethiopia today, Ms. Rogers, if you arrive there, they wouldn't allow you to carry camera or anything or videos or anything that you can record anything to express what's going on outside of Ethiopia. And that is something that hasn't been covered yet. For instance, when we left Somalia, we arrived Ogaden, which I am from. I'm actually Ogaden myself, and the region is named after its people. And what is going on in Ogaden is because the people of Ogaden, which belong to Somali people, and that region was given to Ethiopia by a British long time ago. So this is a war this is like ethnicity that Ethiopians trying to eliminate so they can have that land. But you can't eliminate 8 million of people.
Okay. So you're saying that Ogaden is there's a squabble going on between Somalia
right.
and Ethiopia.
Right.
Who wants to own Ogaden,
Right.
as if they are not people.
Exactly.
They don't exist.
Exactly.
So somebody can just come and grab.
Exactly.
And you're also saying that there's the reason why the rest of the world doesn't know what is going on
Right.
in that place
Right.
is because there's a media blackout.
Media blackout, any kind of news, anything. There's a lot of outsiders that trying to sneak in and just trying to cover silent movements and stuff, but they can't exit out. They can't. There's no one that can possibly get any. Reporters cannot go there. There's a lot of American reporters that went in, and they were jailed, and they were abused themselves, and they come out and they share their experience with American people. And this is actually what moves me, because what happened if they doing what they doing to the Americans? What would you think would they doing to those people who doesn't have anything, or who doesn't have people to back them up if they are locked up, or if they caught doing cameras or trying to record what's going on in there?
Okay, just to be clear, who actually, is it the Ethiopians, the Ethiopian government, or the Somalian government? Which one is attacking Ogaden? I know both of them want Ogaden,
Right.
but which one is actually doing the killing in that place?
Well, Ogaden people are Somalis. They want to be with Somalia. Ethiopians are the one that doing the killing, genociding, raping, all the torturing is Ethiopian government. And Meles, who's the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, was questioned about this. In fact, Ms. Rogers, I have witnessed when I was 6 years old, I witnessed my own cousin, who was 13 at the moment, with her right there under the tree, get raped and killed after that. I witnessed on my own eyes. So who's doing this?
By the Ethiopian army or rebels?
By the Ethiopian soldiers. By the Ethiopian soldiers who actually were dressed. And you know what? This is what moves me. And actually, this is the reasons why I do what I do. It will save Ogaden. Because when I was the age of 6, when I witnessed how many other kids in that age witnessed that happened to their parents, that happened to their family members, that happened to other people.
Okay, I understand you guys are from, the Ogadens are from Somalia. But Somalia has been in conflict for the last almost 20 years.
Right.
Why would you people, the Ogadens, want to? Why would you want to be part of Somalia when the conflict in Somalia has not been resolved?
Right. Well, what's going on in Somalia is a civil war. Every country, even the United States used to fight South and North. But why we want to be with Somalia? Because we are Somalis ourselves. Ogaden means tribe name. So in fact, what separates and create the names is the Europeans. In fact, Ethiopia is the only country that have never been conquered. So therefore, Europeans, when they draw the map of Africa, which is actually behind us, give to Ethiopia the region that belongs to Somalia, which create the conflict. So technically, I blame the Europeans who knew what they were doing when they were giving the Ogaden region to Ethiopia. However, we still until today will do whatever possible to free Ogaden people so they can live their life, whether it's civil war in Somalia or whether their own life. But those people deserved to get their freedom.
Actually, you guys are known as the Somalians in Ethiopia.
Somalians, that's right, absolutely. Yeah.
There has been deliberate attempt in that region to curtail the work of the NGOs,
right,
and civil society.
Right.
Why do you think so? And who are doing this?
I mean, the thing is, this is a question that I can't answer because this is a politician question, because the NGOs, the UN, the African Union has not been more involved like they should be, because the government, the Ethiopian government is more more connected to Western world. And the Somali, as you know, is 100% Muslim people. And because of that, they don't care of how these people live their lives. I think, personally, that's my belief. And another one thing that the world ignores is that this is a people that are getting eliminated every day. And this can happen. Same thing that's happened to Darfur today. Same thing that's happened in Darfur is what's going on in Ogaden. It may be worse because Darfur is getting help. Darfur is getting attention. Darfur is getting media insight.
So you're saying that the difference between Ogaden and Darfur is that there is media attention in Darfur.
Right. There is,
and that nobody knows what's going on in Ogaden. And they seem like some kind of an obscure group of people.
Absolutely. That's exactly.
But the UN, do they know?
The UN know. In fact, I have a piece of paper here from Human Rights Watch, and 100% aware of what's going on in Ogaden. But in this piece of paper right here, they wrote about 110 pages about reports about what's going on in Ogaden, and that Ethiopian government is so wrong of what they're doing, but at the same time, no one is stepping in to do something about it. That's why young men like me, who's from Ogaden, have to educate American people or those people who actually that they are getting taxed in their country that they're living in, and that tax is helping the Ethiopian soldiers to abuse and rape and torture more Ogaden innocent people.
Just for our viewers, because like you said, there has been a media blackout,
right,
and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that would want to know exactly where is the location of Ogaden between Ethiopia and Somalia. Is it inside Ethiopia or at the edge, at the boundary between both countries?
Well, it's inside in Ethiopia because when the map of Ethiopia drawn, they was included in Ethiopia. But exactly it's eastern of Ethiopia, western of Somalia. That's exactly what it is.
Well, you have been watching Mr. Saeed Ahmed, who is a professional artist and a human rights activist. He's been doing work here in the United States and advocating around the world about the issues that concern his place, Ogaden. And this place, they have been being killed. People are being killed. Children are being raped. Women are being mutilated. And unfortunately, there has been a media blackout in this area, and nobody really knows that this is going on. What we are going to do here today is that he is going to let the rest of the world know what is going on there and how the rest of us can all actually help out, speak to the Congress or whoever that is out there willing to listen, and the rest of the African Union, so that they can help out in what's going on. But meanwhile, we are going to take a short break and we'll come back and continue this discussion. Welcome back to Africa Express. Before we took a break, we were discussing Ogaden, a city in Ethiopia.
A region.
A region in Ethiopia, and the human rights violations that are going on in that region. With me to continue discussing this is Mr. Saeed Ahmed. Mr. Ahmed, there is the Human Rights Watch. Before we took a break, you mentioned that the Human Rights Watch in the United States is aware of this, and they used a word to describe what is going on in Ogaden. In one of their articles, they said it's collective punishment. Could you explain to the rest of the world what collective punishment means?
Well, collective punishment is the different views of what they saw in Ogaden, such as gathering people, putting in camps, starving them to death, torturing them, hanging them. What can I say? All kind of ways of destroying human being.
You're saying that people are actually gathered in one place and then starve them and hang them. Explain to me a little bit about the starvation portion of this.
I have a picture of what collection punishment put together, and as you can see, this right here, this is the faces of what they have as a report. They have children starving, women getting raped, and men getting hanged and burned, and all kind of very sad things. What Ethiopian government do is they go to village and gather people and shut down everything. Nothing can go out, nothing can go in. No water, no food, no telephone. I mean, you can imagine how hardship is that. And this is a way of destroying these people. Imagine if you don't get water a month or don't get food. That's the toughest way of killing human being. So this is what goes on in Ethiopia. This is what goes on in Ogaden region. And this, when I see it, when I heard about it, I heard about people that grow up in that thing. Ethiopian government, in fact, has been putting a woman's press, cables. They'll put cables, and then will turn the electrics on. Ethiopian government will torture.
Let's touch that again. You said that they take cables and attach to the woman's nipple. And what do they do with it?
And then they'll turn the electric on. They have electric. And then they'll kill that way. In fact, there was a documentary movie that was made called Silent Cry. If you have opportunity, please check out the movie called Silent Cry. Silent Cry is a movie that was made a young British Ogaden man who grew up in UK. And one day he got a ride. One day he went to Kenya for a field trip. And then he met a taxi driver that was Ogaden survivor. And then when the guy told his story, this young man, since he grew up in England, that was an unbelievable thing. So he went to the refugee camp where the Ogadens, when they flee from Ogaden, they settle. A refugee camp in Kenya. So the man went with a camera, because of course he can't go to camera in Ethiopia. So he went his camera in the refugee camp and interviewed people that were survivors. If you go to a camp in Ethiopia, you would imagine the stories that you hear from these victims.
Who are the Oromos?
Oromos are also another ethnic tribe that live in Ethiopia.
Are they affected by this killing also?
Of course. See, genocides are all, but especially people who live, Oromos don't have any other place. At least Ogadens have Somalia to back up on, Somali to say, you know what, we want to be with Somali. Oromo has, of course they're victims, but they don't have a place other than Ethiopia.
I also understand that elections, the Ethiopian election, that it is being held at a different times in Ogaden. away from the other time when everybody else holds election. Do you think that this systematic segregation is affecting the development of Ogaden itself?
Well, you know, the Ethiopian government don't have official election. In fact, it's a dictatorship, prime minister. And just now, because of the United States and other Western country pressure him, that Meles did his first election.
Which was rigged.
Which was rigged just recently. But in fact, he got on back to power. There was all the people that were running against him were just destroyed, locked up,
or
killed, or maybe ran away from the country. So guess who left in the place? Himself again. So here in America, we cannot understand what's going on in Ethiopia or Ogaden region because it's something that we didn't get used to it. This country has such dictatorship. And Ogaden people, just coming back to your question, Ogaden people have no voice, no elections. So there is no, to answer your question, there's no fair or anything. It's just like back in the days, slavery here in the United States. Do they have voice? No. The women have right to vote? No. So it's like what's going on like 100 years ago here, it's what's going on there.
I want you to hold on to that thought. We are going to take a short break and we will come back and continue the discussion with Mr. Said Ahmed. Welcome back to Africa Express. We're still talking about the Ogaden region in Ethiopia and the human rights violations that are going on in that region. Mr. Ahmed.
Yes, ma'am.
How is it that, despite widespread talk of undemocratic governance and unparalleled human rights violation under Meles Zenawi, the Prime Minister, that the Western world still remain unmoved and indifferent about what he is doing in that region?
Right. Well, to be honest, like the thing is, like the Western world don't know what's going on in this place. The West, it seems like America.
Or they don't want to know.
They don't want to know. They're not interested because this guy, they don't care what's happening to these people. In fact, realistically, this guy is given everything that the Western world want. So there isn't really a push from them. In fact, if Western world push a little bit Ethiopia and just say, you know, right now we have about millions of Ogaden people, Oromo people, Amharic people who are facing all this genocide, rape and abuse and killing here in America. So if we actually gather together and go up there and just go to White House, Washington, explain our governors, our senators about what's going on, because a lot of senators, in fact, now are aware of this thing. A lot of senators actually sign petitions about that we should take action towards Ethiopia, what they're doing. In fact, our Vice President, Joe Biden, visit the Horn of Africa except Ethiopia because he know what Ethiopian government are doing is not correct. So in fact, because of that, he didn't want there. He didn't want to visit there. But he went to Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Djibouti, all the countries that are around it. So he didn't go to Ethiopia because, I mean, it's good. And I am glad that our Vice President did not go there.
Have your hand full trying to, a small region like Ogaden, trying to fight for your rights within the Ethiopian regime or country. what, why? Why take up this type of burden?
Right. Well, the reason why is I got flashbacks. As I sleep at night, I got flashbacks of what I see as very young age. In fact, today, let's put it on realistically. You know, I'm a professional athlete. I have a job and safe place here in Boston, Massachusetts. You know, I can just sit back and just watch TV and just go to work regular 5 days. In fact, I cannot do that. I am not a normal child that was born in America. I have that scratch in my heart, the sadness that I see, that I witness, that I need to correct. In fact, this is the message that I want to share with my young American brothers and sisters, that we have a people that have no help. We have a kids that are born, and in the morning they get up and there's no school for them to go. There's no doctors or no one when they have
no food.
No food, nothing to eat. So we have really this Ogaden people need us, and we need to save these people. It's up to you to spread the word to world. They have no one else but people like you and I and those people who are listeners tonight.
So your message is that for those of you that are watching this, there is a place called Ogaden.
Right.
And this place is in Ethiopia. If you have not or never heard about it before, he is here letting us know that indeed such a place exists, and that in such a place, this is what's been going on for the last 10 years or more. There's been genocide, there's been ethnic cleansing, there's been starvation, women, children, men gathered in camps and starved to death. Children are sleeping in the bushes, hiding away from the Ethiopian soldiers. Now, how can the rest of us help them? We can spread the word. We can let the rest of the world know that, in fact, these people are human beings and that their human rights are being violated. Therefore, it is a moral obligation for the rest of us to right the people in power, both in Ethiopia and the foreign countries that we reside in, to not let this continue and to save Ogaden. Again, Mr. Ahmed, I thank you so much for coming to Africa Express and letting us share the story of Ogaden and letting us know where this place is.
Well, thank you so much. And also, I also would like to thank for African Express. In fact, I'm the first to be honored tonight on being on this background, and you guys are doing a great job, and thank you for your time, and I really appreciate it. And this is, you already have helped Ogaden. You already have helped a lot of people by making this possible to have our voice heard from many others. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being on Africa Express, and I wish you good luck. Continue to do the good work that you're doing. Again, if you are watching, you have heard what we talked about this evening. I thank you so much for staying with us throughout this program. Please join us on this channel, same time, for the next show.